Hey, welcome back, guys. We are back live again, and today, hopefully, we have better luck with our sound. I'm gonna try not to shake the camera too much here, but we wanted to do another video here and share the experience that I'm gonna go through with you guys. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna remove the fuel pump out of this 2000 BMW E39. What you're seeing here is, before we take the fuel pump out, I like to pump the fuel out. So I got my collector here, my tank, my funnel, and I'm pointing, this is the line where the fuel is gonna be dumped into. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go to, and for, if you didn't know, the fuel pump is located on the passenger rear. It's underneath the seat. So this is how it looks. Okay. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna give direct power to the fuel pump using my jumper here. And then that way I can collect any leftover fuel that's in the tank. So I'm gonna go and turn this on here. Okay, it says all ports off. So I need to hold. This is a pretty nice gadget too. It's a nice jumper, small, but it gets the job done. Okay, so we got power now. Do me a favor, make sure that it's collecting. Okay, I wanna make sure that, I'm telling my assistant here that, making sure that, okay, I'm gonna put power, okay?
Okay. It's good.
It's good?
Yes.
Okay, so now she says it's good. Let's dump all the fuel from the tank to my container in the front. Good? Okay. Now, always remember, you're working with fuel here. Make sure that it's well ventilated. You have rags available because the air is going to be spilled. Once we're done emptying most of the fuel from the tank, I'm going to show you how to remove this this part here. And as you can see, I have my tools ready. I want to go show you how it looks. Let's check it out. I know somebody asked me what I did. Yeah, there you go. Someone asked, how do you remove the leftover fuel from the tank? You can do this. Oh, careful. Get very careful. No smoking, nothing, no sparks. And the line, that's the, it was the one that was here. This other line is the return line. Okay. And as I can tell, there wasn't that much fuel because it's kind of sputtering. So we're gonna take as much as I can. Nothing is spilling. And if you just joined us, we're gonna show you how to take the fuel pump out of this 2000 BMW 528i. And the removal process on most of these 5 Series is the same from 1998 to 2003. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, there's nothing left. It's just getting the last, yep, there you go, it's done. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the fuel pump, take the power out. All right, take the power out. Good. Let's turn this off. All right. Let's put this away. There you go. Put it away, please. Thank you. All right, so let's get to it now. We made a video earlier on E46, and basically that video was titled "Crank But No Start." And if you watch the video, you'll see that the car wasn't starting because the fuel pump on that vehicle was bad. So we're gonna show you here, if you're having the same experience with your E39 5 Series, where the car cranks, and it doesn't start, might be your fuel pump. Could be other things though, but your fuel pump could be it too. All right, so let me get started. The tool that I like to use is very important, rubber mallets. As you can see, it's seen better days. And I like to use, what do you call this here? It'll be like a chisel? Chisel?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
In
chisel.
Spanish, what is it?
I don't know. But I like this tool because what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna place the end of the chisel here around the ring. And as you can see on the ring, you see little grooves popping out. Those are starting points for you to get this. Take this right here. You open the door. Man, okay. Keep your rags ready because there might be fuel. Not now, actually. There's no fuel that's going to come out. But rubber and metal are good. If you don't want to do metal chisel and a metal mallet, because it'll create a spark and that's not going to be a good day for you. So first thing we do is this. As you can see, as I'm hitting it, the aluminum ring is churning. And what I did prior is I also put a little bit of W40 around the ring as to loosen it. I've had instances where I don't put that W40 and I start to remove the ring and I end up cracking the top of the fuel pump because the ring is stuck to the plate. At this point it should be loose. So now, yeah, you can turn it. We were lucky because right now it's pretty clean. And what I mean by that is we've had cars where they've been sitting for a while. And when you remove this back seat and you take the cover off, which is this cover here, just sits right here. It's held by 3 Phillips screws. You've taken these off before, and then you find a bunch of like a rat's nest that they create here. It was disgusting. But we still finished the job though, so, okay. So I managed to loosen the ring. What I want to do now is I need to remove this hose, this fuel hose here. And the way I do it is, are you good? You're getting everything right? Okay, there's a clamp here. It's factory clamp. Usually it's a different type of clamp, but for this one, I like to use these pliers, or not really pliers, they're cutters. Here, you need to be very careful. I've had people try to cut this, and what they do is they wiggle it too hard, and they end up breaking this nozzle, this plastic nozzle here. So what I like to bury, from the top. I just need to, whoa. I saw smoke. I think I created a spark right now. Yeah, be careful when you're trying to remove this clamp. You want to avoid any sparks. Okay. Seeing that right there? Yeah, in the meantime, if you have any comments, please let us know. I can reply to your comments or questions or anything else you want to ask. So we got this. You can throw this away. Okay. And now this is where the rags come in handy, because the minute you start removing this hose, there's going to be a lot of gas coming out through here. Not a lot, but now if you're on your car, you would have to pull this hose very carefully. And what I like to do is, I showed it in the other video, but I'll show you right now. Stay right there. I'll be back.
We'll be waiting for you.
Any questions, you can ask us. talk to our
Yes, if you have questions, you're feel free to
all those
ask those questions, and I'll be reading them here.
1,000 viewers. Okay. So in most cases, what you would do is I would get a flat screwdriver like this, and let me get in here. If not, just get a blade. Pop this out. Okay, but since I'm not gonna use this hose anymore, I'm just gonna cut it using this tool. I don't wanna break the nipple there.
It's not usable, the hose, or why is it that you're not using it anymore?
Because no, this car is gone. After I take this this hose out, it's gonna get recycled. So I have no use for the hose. But if when I'm working in a customer's car, you gotta take this hose very carefully. But it's stuck sometimes. It's
yeah,
not,
that makes sense.
okay, so let's get this rag. Okay. Well, no fuel came out of this one here.
That's perfect.
Okay, so we push this to the side. Now we can take the ring out.
That's because you know what you're doing.
Right here. To the side. Okay. And one thing to point out is you can't mess up when you put this fuel pump back in place, because it's got, I want to say, aligners, or see, so basically when you put your new fuel pump in, it has to go right here.
Ooh, look how that's coming out perfectly.
Okay. So when you
It's
put your
lovely.
fuel pump back in, this has to align here.
Mm.
Now, I don't know if you recall, we replaced the fuel pump on our car once, and we installed it, and I was smelling fumes. And the reason why whenever I fill my tank up, I would get the smell of fuel coming out, and I was getting a leakage on the side, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out why. I later realized that I forgot to put this
The rubber.
this ring. So basically, when you so it definitely helps us, the fact that we emptied. Okay, so see down here,
Yeah.
there's a little, like a tab. So you press that tab, and it releases
Wait,
here.
it's just like the white tab. What color is it?
Black.
What's? Oh, okay.
There's another one right there. So you reach in there. Okay, so once those two tabs have been pre-pressed them, you can even stick your hand in there and pull it out. Check it out.
Yeah, I see it there.
Okay, so at this point, you can pull it out. What I like to do is, see this brown hose going this way?
Yeah.
Pop this out first.
Okay.
Once you do that, pull it out. Want to angle it a little bit. Because now your balancer here comes out. You gotta see, this comes out.
Okay.
But you have to kind of angle it, because otherwise, if you want to pull straight up, it's gonna hit. So once this is out, the rest is pretty easy to remove. And the tabs that I was mentioned before, these two tabs right here.
That's the black tabs that you were.
You pull it out,
Pointing out.
because the tabs basically they insert here.
We highly recommend also that you wear a mask.
Mask and goggles, because you don't want fuel in your eye. So this is what the fuel pump looks like. Okay, and the filter looks, it's a little dirty, but it's still good. And this is how we test our fuel pumps in the beginning of the video. you notice that we put power to it, and it actually pumped out fuel. So that's why we know that this is a good working pump. So this is how it looks. What I wanted to mention is when you put the replacement pump in, don't forget this seal right here. And also don't forget how it goes. So I'm very careful. See, I know this is the top.
Why? Because it's flat on the top, or?
Yeah, because the other side is different.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
See? So then when you put your replacement, what you want to do is take, if you want, you can get a new one. I've used the old ones and they work perfectly fine. What you want to do is put this in here first. And be sure if you can work on a well ventilated area, it's a plus because this thing. See? Make sure that.
It goes in right perfectly.
So at this point, I can place, if this was the replacement, I can go ahead and put it in. And same thing, I would put, see, I would put this one in first. Then put this in. And lastly, actually, I will do this first. These two tabs are going to be on the side. I know that. That one goes there. This brown, I would push it through here. And I would basically put this first. Align your tabs. One thing too, I'll show you right now. If you notice here, it's like a filler down here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the bottom of the tank, right there, you see it?
Oh, that's right. It has to.
So if you can align this, there's like an O-ring on it.
Yeah.
If you can align this to that right there, you know you're going in the right direction. Okay, so that's what I would recommend you guys do. Put this one in first. See, let me show you.
You're gonna put it back in?
Yeah, see, I'm gonna take this out because I'm just gonna, for video purposes, put this aside. So where is it? Right there.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually see it. If you have a nice light, I'm using this headlamp. It's very helpful because it frees up your hands. Okay. Okay, so see now I aligned that insert. I popped it in. Go ahead, you can check it out.
Yep.
But just aligning those 2 points and everything else will.
Well, and then I see the clips right there
Mm-hmm.
too.
Oh, yeah.
One in the
Yeah.
each side.
Yeah, so as a replacement, that's what I would do first. I would put the fuel pump itself in. Then you would push this right here in. And lastly, I would put one more thing too. This one aligns. So,
Okay.
so I would align that part. And I the good thing is, remember this has to go back here. Let's see here. I would actually take it back out, turn it, just like this, put it in, And then this little, it's like a floater. Little floater sits outside on the tank. Okay, I did that. I'm gonna align this right there, perfect. So then the last thing I would do is see this black hose, this brown hose, put it in, shove it in actually, right there. There you go. So I aligned those 2 points right there. See, this connects right here. See how it sits flush?
Wow, that's great.
Yes, but just remember, this is just for video purposes, but if you're putting this fuel pump in for real, you would have to sit this first on the ring and then put the cap on top. Once you put the cap on top, you get your O-ring here, and same thing. Put it on there and tighten it as much as you can. Just don't over tighten it because you might break the top cap right here. So anyhow, that's how you remove and that's how you replace a fuel pump out of this. We did it for a 2000 528, but the process should be the same from 1998 to 2003. You're talking 540s, 530, 528 and 525 models. So that's how it's done. This is just the educational purpose. Always be careful when you work with fuels, with gas. Always wear the right protective gear, goggles, gloves, racks, and make sure it's well ventilated. So anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed our second live video. And man, it's humid
they
in
were
here.
asking what car you're working on, which you already mentioned it.
Yeah, so the
It's
car
a
we're working on right now is a 2000 528i. This is the sedan. I know in this year, the popular ones were the wagons or the Tourings. Those Tourings were manufactured from 1999 to 2000, 528. And if you have one of those, you're lucky. And if your fuel pump ever goes out, this is how you replace it. And I always mention, be sure to support us by visiting our website posted below. It's beamermerchant.com. We've been in business for about 10 years now, and we specialize on pre-owned BMW parts. We got good reviews. Check us out. Our shipping is amazing.
Yes.
Yes, our boxing is really good. So we take pride in what we do, just because they are pre-owned, there's a lot of misconception out there that, oh, it's not good. But believe me, I would rather, I don't know if I'm being biased, but I would encourage people to buy genuine BMW pre-owned parts versus aftermarket.
Tony from Chamois loves watching your videos from Canada.
Wow.
Ooh, Canada.
Love Canada. I wonder how the weather is in Canada right now.
How's the weather there in Canada?
Because here we're at 86 degrees, humidity. We're in Southern California. We're by the Angel Stadium here in Anaheim. So
By Disneyland.
By
Close to
Disneyland. So if any of you guys are ever down here, come visit us. Check out our shop and take a little tour. We'd love to have you down here. We have people from Russia. I know somebody from Russia came. They bought an engine from me, and they were cool people. So
Yes.
Let me see here. Again, we're gonna be going out, cutting out in about 5 minutes. In the meantime, any questions you guys have, please ask us, and we'll be more than glad to help you out. But since I'm not gonna, let me take this out again because it's gonna go for sale pretty soon. Yeah, once you do this once or twice, it becomes like second nature. I know the first time that I did it, I was really nervous. Because just this alone, it's like playing, what is it, Legos?
Mm-hmm.
Or Tetris for someone like me. Remember playing Tetris? You gotta be able to move parts around. Okay, so then tabs. Yeah, there you go, comes out.
Beautiful.
So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this outside. This fuel pump, just kind of let it soak outside for a bit. And then I'm gonna put this cover back. Let me do that right now because I don't. So what I like to do is just like to put it here, let it soak for a little bit, or just air out. There's no more fuel in here. It just lets out. I'll let it sit here for an hour, and the fumes go away. So let me just go back in here and clean up. I usually like to put this back on so that it keeps the fumes inside the tank. And these are the screws. I gotta, okay. Here we go right there. Let me just disconnect or get the tank ready, and then we're all set.
All right.
Okay, so for those of you who are just joining us, we pumped out the leftover fuel from the tank to our gas tank here. And the line that we used was this one here, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it's the, so this is, if you're looking at a 528, 1999 to 2000, this is the setup. This is the line that pumps your fuel into your injectors. And this is a return line that, you know, basically takes the leftover fuel back to the tank. And this setup was only available from like 98 to 2000. In 2001, they did away with this. It wasn't here anymore. So anyhow, guys, I really appreciate you joining us on this evening and sharing the experience that we go through when we remove parts from the vehicle. And this is something new that we started to do. Before, if you look at our channel, we have a lot of videos, but I wanted to go live because this is the raw footage. You know, there's no editing, there's nothing fancy. It's just what it is. If I mess up, I mess up, and you guys can see it. But other than that, from sunny California, thank you guys for watching. You guys have an amazing day. Take care.
All right. Bye.